So let me give you a little backtrack on We Touch One Heart Foundation. It is a foundation founded by the lovely, tenacious Shanique Rogers. It is a foundation that is based in Port Antonio, Portland. But don't worry yourself. You don't have to live in Portland to be a part of this foundation, you know. You can live all the way in Kingston and still participate in their activities. It's a non-profit organization, and they mainly do outreach programs. It ranges feeding the elderly, going out to children homes, you know, volunteering. It's the whole works. And I am telling you, young people, youths, you need to get involved. If you are not a part of an organization, let me tell you something, you need to be a part of one. And We Touch One Heart Foundation, I fully endorse this foundation, and I tell you to support, get on board. And the way you can do this, there's a link in our bio that you can also go ahead and sign up, be a part. And always there is the email address, wetouchoneheartfoundation@gmail.com, and their contact information is on the page as well. So just after the live is finished, you can go ahead and just sign up with We Touch One Heart Foundation. And tonight, you know, we're going to be joined by the lovely Ramona Riley. I have been waiting for this moment. I've been anticipating this so much as you are. I want to learn more about this condition, and there's no better. I would say there's this young woman. She is an expert. She has been doing her womb wellness programs for years. She's an expert in the field and she knows her stuff. So who else could we talk to tonight about this condition? And March is being recognized as Endometriosis Month. Endometriosis Awareness Month. Yesterday was Endometriosis Awareness Day. And as you can see, I want you to all put your bows, your yellow bows in the comment section and just, you know, show some love to these women who are living with endometriosis in Jamaica. So without further, well, it's not time yet, but you know, if you have any questions, any comments, anything about our organization, you can just let us know, DM us any questions that you have about the foundation. You can always up in our DM and tell us what it is that you'd like to know more about us. And I'm just going to take some time to tell some folks that I'm seeing on here. Hi, I saw Nastasia joining. I saw the Noble One. There is Danielle, Shamara. We're happy that you're here, and I'm seeing a lot of ladies. I'm not seeing a lot of gentlemen on here, but just know that it is not only for the ladies to know. You might not have the condition, but you know you have aunts, sisters, cousins, and wife, you know, who might be living with such a condition, and you want to know how it is that you can better assist these persons. All right, so we're just going to jump onto our program for tonight, and we're going to be Ramona Riley.
Hi, Goddess.
Good evening to you. Good evening.
Good evening to you too.
It is very, 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 very nice meeting you. I'm elated to finally. We have been talking from last year, but it's our first meet, actually. So
yes.
We have been in dialogue, and it's a pleasure to have you here tonight. So
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Persons who are on the live might be wondering who Ramona Riley is. If you have not been following our page, even before our flyers were up and after our flyers have been up, if you didn't go over and follow her page, like after this live, y'all need to go over there and follow her. She has 2 pages on Instagram, the Cosmic Wombman and the Vagina Lady. So let me tell you a little bit more about Ramona. So, as I said before, she is the Vagina Lady. And take no joke about that. She knows her thing. Yes. She is a womb specialist, womb wellness specialist, and she has been focusing on the healing of female reproductive system. She has been doing this for over 5 years, I can say,
8.
and 8 years. There we go. She has been doing this a long, long time, and I'm telling you, her journey to this stage, it has not been easy. At one point, she was told to do an erect. It's erect.
Hysterectomy.
Right. I'm chopping over my words. Forgive me. Right, and it's that did not deter her. It did not stop her in trying to have a child, because after doing treatment, natural treatment and herbal treatment, she came up with the remedy, I would say. And she gave birth to her third child, and as well as her company, Cosmic Wombman. And I will tell you, she has been working with ladies all over the world, the Caribbean, UK, USA. She has been working with females in gaining their stance in this world, in getting to that place where they really want to get as a female. And it is through natural and what would you say, I natural methods, because none of
Right.
these are what you'd see now, the oricum up thingies or anything like that. These are natural processes of healing. And I will tell you, she is an expert. She knows her stuff. So we'll be talking more about endometriosis, and she has the she has had the experience to treat women who have been living with endometriosis, and she is fit to tell us more about it. So Ramona, thank you for joining us. And
Okay, got it.
I know I speak a lot, but you're going to be the one talking a lot after this.
No, man,
So,
you go right ahead. I'll just listen.
oh my God. So, many persons who have joined the live, who have seen the flyer, they saw this big word, endometriosis. And we might, click to Google, click it up, look it up, but we need to know more. We need the layman term, as we would say in Jamaica. What is endometriosis?
Okay, so endometriosis is a reproductive condition that really is hormonal. The estrogen level is extremely high, and the uterine lining is really what the issue is. The uterine lining almost turns into what you would say, it creates almost like a scar tissue or deposits, they would say, which then can connect to other organs. So when a woman has endometriosis, she finds a lot of times that she has a lot of pain before, during, and after the period. And the reason why is because the lining itself is just in a complete mess, right? There are a lot of women that suffer from endometriosis that the lining is now, or the scar tissue that's coming from the lining is now connecting to all different organs. So her bowels can be connected to her uterus, can be connected to literally just from the scar tissue itself. So you find that women are just suffering, completely suffering. But it is estrogen driven. So you find that a lot of women that suffer from endometriosis, unfortunately, sometimes they suffer from other estrogen-driven conditions as well, because of course the estrogen level is so high, like fibroids or cysts or endometriosis, which is what I had. So endometriosis can come in many shapes, forms, and fashions. And a lot of times women are not diagnosed with endometriosis till it's gotten really bad, because a lot of times it's overlooked as just painful periods. We'll just give you some birth control, and like level that out until they start to have all these other symptoms that are intense, like the leg pain, and when they want to poop, their butt hurts. Or, they're in so much pain in terms of abdomen wise, where they just want to take their clothes off and put their belly on like cold tile, right? Because it numbs it. I find a lot of women that suffer from endometriosis don't use heat. They don't use a heating pad like the rest of us, right? That when we're having painful periods, we just slap on the heating pad and it kind of cools it, warms it down so it balances it out. But with endometriosis, the heat is not it. We want cold, you want numbing, you want the pain to go away, So I
Right.
find that a lot of times they will definitely do that as well.
Right. I totally understand. Like for females on a whole, like the menstrual cycle, when the cramps, like sometimes the cramps varies. You'll feel it in your abdomen sections at times. You'll feel it in your back. So with endometriosis, is there a place where you say, okay, then this is it? Like, is there just one specific area that pains, or is it like the entire body that pains? That's her.
Well, I would definitely say that I don't know if there's one specific place. Definitely cramps in terms of in your abdomen, for sure, 100%. But back, sure, but there is a leg pain and a joint pain and a knee pain that sometimes comes with endo. And when I have a client that tells me, oh my gosh, their legs kill them before or during their period, it kind of gives me a red flag, to think, okay, this sounds a little endo-like instead of it just being, painful periods. So I would say the leg pain definitely makes me raise my eyebrow a little bit, and changing or thinking that this could just not be painful periods, but this could have some kind of endometriosis link.
All right. Thank you for clearing that up. Is it, is there like a specific uh treatment like for these pains, like the leg pain actually? So a woman who is living with endometriosis, what is it that she will do when this pain comes on?
Well, when it comes to endo, when the pain comes on, it's kind of hard to say what to take, because when the pain comes on, it's like it doesn't want to go away, and so I always like to tell women, don't try to fix it when the pain is there. Fix it when the pain is not there, right? So that when the pain is to start, it is less. It's harder when something is extreme to bring it down than when it's not flaring up, right? So endometriosis is literally, if you have it, it's a journey. It's a journey you have to go through. And when it comes to using holistic methods to heal it or to treat it, there are many different ways that you can go about that. It really just depends on the woman, her symptoms, the stage of endometriosis that she might have. If it is that it's affecting her lungs, then of course we're doing all sorts of different things to counteract that. If it is that it's just, she feels it more in her abdomen, then of course we focus a little bit more there. Not necessarily in terms of the healing aspect, but in terms of the comfortableness. A woman shouldn't walk around every day in pain or before her period in pain. So it's really about tackling it and changing the lifestyle and making the treatment your lifestyle. So you have to kind of change the mentality, and not just think about it as, okay, my gosh, the pain is going to come on. My period is due in 2 weeks, which means in 1 week I'm going to feel this pain. And then instead of taking it from that point of view, you want to just really just look at the whole thing just from a healing aspect and be concentrating on this endometriosis on a daily basis.
Okay, so there you go. That is one coping mechanism, to focus on the condition daily, and not just when it is, it is near. Your pains are going to come. So coping with it is knowing that you have to live with it daily. And what are some of the daily routines that you would say? Do women living with this condition, do they exercise? What type of food
Well,
do you
oh,
recommend?
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
That's fine.
Exercise, yes. I mean, exercise is great for almost any, not just reproductive condition, but any kind of medical condition that you could have most times, right? But a lot of women that suffer from endometriosis don't want to exercise. I mean, they don't want to feel any extra pain. So if I go to the gym today, and I lift some weights and I go running and I wake up tomorrow morning and my leg hurting me and my back hurting me and I feel the muscles tense. A lot of women that suffer from endometriosis feel that every day without having to do anything. So they're not necessarily running to go exercise. So what I would suggest instead of the exercising more is stretching. Stretching is really important, and massaging their abdomen. And this is self massage. Just really spending time on rubbing down her belly and showing her belly love. And I mean, I'm talking about from your ribs. So I probably shouldn't even say belly. From your ribs all the way down. I mean, for some women, they can really do from the belly button down. But just in case we don't know where the endo is, because not every woman has done a laparoscopy, which is the only way that they can really diagnose you with endometriosis. But sometimes just the symptoms alone is like, yeah, this is definitely endo, right? So massaging for sure. I would definitely suggest that. Use some natural oil, some coconut oil, some grapeseed oil, that's natural on your abdomen. I don't have endometriosis, but I find every so often that I do that myself, just for circulation purposes. If your circulation is good, then you're not going to be suffering from this painful or uncomfortable period with all this bloating and all these different types of things.
My internet is in and out.
Love is important.
Oh my God. Are you hearing
something else I'm here. You sound a little low, but I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, my internet keeps going out, in and out, so
okay.
I didn't hear a lot of
no, of course there are certain supplements that are amazing for endometriosis, right? Things like vitamin D3 is really good. I would also say like serapeptase is also very good for endometriosis, because the serapeptase kind of helps to remove that so-called scar tissue that is coming from the uterus or the lining of the uterus itself. I would also say you want to detox, okay? Any condition that you might suffer from, doesn't matter what it is, detoxing is usually really important, because you remove the toxicity, you remove the waste, you remove these things that at the end of the day do cause issues, right? So detoxing is really great, and you can detox in many ways, many shapes, many forms. It just depends on you and your lifestyle. So if it is that you want to do juicing, you can do that. Now, juicing is not something that you can do. Right, for the detox. Juicing is not something you can really do every day for 25 years, right? I mean, that's probably not the most realistic thing. But you can start off the detoxing process with juicing. You can also do like a liquid cleanse or a tonic kind of cleanse, just as long as it's not removing the good bacteria from your gut. So be very anal about where you're getting these types of things, right? I also suggest castor oil treatments. Castor oil treatments are great because it helps to soften the scar tissue, or the so-called scar tissue deposits that are there. It really helps to soften it. So I would suggest doing a castor oil treatment, which you can find on our IG live, where I literally do it on a model.
I've seen
so you can do that.
The post on that.
Yes. Okay. And I mean, it's something I do to my children, and they don't have endo, so it's really a detoxing. Wow. It detoxes the reproductive system, the digestive system, the lymphatic system. So if you suffer from sinus or anything like that, it's really good for you as well. It helps with great circulation, which is important for periods and endometriosis, because a lot of times the reason why we're even in more pain is because the circulation is just off. It's just not flowing the way it should. The blood is not flowing the way it should. So you have these blockages, and it's the blockages itself that is also causing a lot of pain. But apart from those types of treatments, I mean, ginger softens the scar tissue. It's a superfood for the womb, superfood for the reproductive system and digestive system. So I would definitely suggest like living on ginger, ginger in everything, unless you're doing like ginger capsules, which are a concentrated version of ginger. You just pop it in your mouth and you keep it going. But if it is that you're doing something like ginger tea, I definitely recommend using the actual root. It's the cheapest route.
I
It's
love
the
that.
easiest route. You know, just wash it off, clean it off, take off the skin, cut it up. You can, I put ginger in my freezer. And when I'm ready for the ginger, just take a piece out of the freezer, right? And it don't spoil, you know. So that is definitely a cheaper route to go necessarily than, you know,
It
doing the
can keep
capsules. I mean, we sell the
long.
capsules at Cosmic Wombman, but it's really a cheaper version. The only thing about that is if you're doing that, you have to do it much more. Because of course, if you're just making tea from it, you're getting some of the nutrients, definitely, but you're not getting it the way you would if you were to just take a whole ginger and eat it. And most women are not going to do that because the taste or it's too spicy or whatever could be the issue.
That's true. That's true. I can't imagine myself eating an entire piece of ginger. Well, we do have it
My
in
point.
meals sometimes, you know, when you're doing your
Yes, you can cook it in
stew
your
and
meals. I
accidentally
mean, throw
put
it in your
ginger
foods, your
and
smoothies.
accidentally
Are you there?
yeah. As I said, my internet is a little bit shaky. I don't know why. I have Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I was saying like sometimes you might use a piece of ginger in your meals and you think it's a piece of chicken you're going to eat next and it's a piece of ginger, but accidentally you bit on it and you said I'm not having this. So it's a bit rough to eat it all by itself, but drinking the tea is excellent. I love ginger tea. I'll drink it every single day. And you have spoken extensively about the physical aspect of it in as it regards to dealing with endometriosis. And now I would like to ask about the mental state of it. How is it that you find a common ground with persons who have been, you know, a support group, something of that sort, to help with your mental stability? How is it that we can find this, or women living with this condition can find such support?
Well, that's the thing. We find that most reproductive issues affect the woman mentally and emotionally as well. Because as women, we know, like, you know, when it comes to the reproductive system, we're a lot more finicky. We're a lot more, our self-esteem is more affected. You know, we don't want to talk about the fact that, you know, we have these reproductive issues. And because endometriosis changes and shifts up your entire life, you have to kind of like live around it. And even in living around it, you're still suffering. There are definitely things that you need to do or can do to help that. For my clients, I really start with things like meditation. Meditation is huge. And when we do meditation, we work a lot with meditation for the reproductive system and meditation for the digestive system. Because, of course, any woman that suffers from endometriosis, which is, of course, a reproductive issue, it is going to affect the digestive. And so the digestive system has to be healthy. And guided visualizations to facilitate and heal that. And I use that as well with my adenomyosis. And I mean, in 2.5 months, that crap went away and it's never been back. And I'm so freaking excited about it because that was a hot mess too. But mentally, I also would say affirmations. Now, a lot of times we say affirmations and we're just like, oh yeah, affirmations, but they're really powerful. And even if you don't believe the freaking affirmations that you're saying at the moment, that's fine. Don't worry about that. As time goes on, saying it every day, looking in the mirror, saying these things, my body is healthy. My body knows exactly what to do. My body is not flawed. You know,
You
I
start
feel good
believing it.
in my own skin. You know, just these positive things. I am source energy. You know, God runs through my veins. I mean, whatever it is that you want to say. And I would say definitely sit down one day
Right.
and just write those down. Just write down a lot of different things. If you don't have an idea of what you want to do, you can research, you can look it up, you can go on YouTube, Google, and get all different types of things. Or ideas to be able to write out your affirmations. And as I said, you don't necessarily have to believe it. It's not about believing it. If you believe it already, then you wouldn't need to affirm it. You already know it, right? So it's
Right. And
really
say it
about just,
until you believe it.
yes, it is you say it until you believe it. And then when you believe it, you still say it because you know it's true and you believe it, right? So I would definitely say that
Makes
as
you say
well. Also,
it.
when women go through reproductive issues, we feel alone. Feel alone. They say 1 in every 10. I think it's a little less. I think it's like 1 in every 8, to be honest. Women suffer from endometriosis worldwide. And they feel alone. So if we have a group of 20 women in one room, at least 2 of them have endometriosis, right? And they feel like they're the only woman on this earth that probably has endo and feels the way that. So mental aspect of it, and also not allowing women to feel alone, which is why support groups are really, really important. It's hard though, in terms of support groups, especially in like Jamaica. We don't really have a lot of that. Worldwide, I would say there's much more options. People are going out of their way more to have this sisterhood that they can that can rally behind them, you know. But at the end of the day, we got to talk about it. And a lot of women that maybe suffer from endometriosis don't even want to talk about it because they feel ashamed and they feel like, oh my gosh, what have I done in my life to deserve this, you know? And then
Right.
apart from that, a lot of women that suffer from endometriosis at some point are also stressed mentally, emotionally, physically, and maybe even spiritually stressed out because fertility is extremely difficult.
Right.
So that in itself now affects you differently. So it's not just that you have painful periods and your leg hurts and you are nauseous before your period, after, during, and sex is uncomfortable, but now you can't even do what they say women are here meant to do: get pregnant, have a
To
baby, become a mother.
reproduce.
It's not happening, right? And so that also affects the woman. So having the support, releasing the fears, the stresses, the all of that through meditation and visualization, healing the reproductive system and the digestive system through visualizations and meditation as well, I think really helps. And then sound therapy. Sound therapy is awesome, and you don't have to do anything but put on the freaking music. That's it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. And so I would definitely suggest sound therapy as well to help with that.
Okay. Is there, you said it is not wide based. It is not something that is done on a wide scale here in Jamaica as it regards to support groups. As
I know We
as
Touch is
in here,
definitely there for sure.
can you
Can you hear
say
me?
that again, please?
No, I was saying that We Touch One Heart Foundation is there. You know what I mean? In terms of a
Oh my
support,
God.
you know, I'm
I'm
not
not
sure
hearing you right
exactly.
now. Like,
You're not hearing anything?
no, you just cut out a lot. Just no, I'm not.
Can you hear me
I
now?
wasn't hearing you just now. Just, hmm, I can hear you now.
Okay, because I can hear you.
All right. I think too many persons in my house is on the Wi-Fi right now, so I'm just going to ask that some persons just kind of give me a little free time on the Wi-Fi for a little time, a little bit, please, because it keeps cutting in and out. My God.
People are saying that they're hearing fine.
Ramona?
Yes.
They're hearing me fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's continue. You were speaking on the support groups in Jamaica.
Right. And I was saying that I don't think that there are many. I know that We Touch One Heart Foundation is definitely there. I'm not sure exactly if there is a physical meeting that happens, or if it is more of a internet based, or if it's just a one person reaching out. I'm not necessarily sure how you guys do it. But I know that it's a safe space. And really, that's what you need. All you need is a safe space, a place to go when it's stressful, a place to go when it gets great. And so I'm glad that, you guys are there. I'm glad that there is an option and you guys are really creating this awareness and just another place for women to really feel like they belong, and that they're not odd and strange and, so thank you guys for that, actually.
All alone, right? You that's a good disposition right there as it regards persons not knowing that there are other persons out here we are here for you and we support you. It's different. Every female is different. Like we are one, but we're different. And we should always support each other. We have just celebrated International Women's Day, and I am telling you, it says choose, the topic was choose to challenge, and we are challenging medical practitioners and all the persons in the medical field to try and find a cure for endometriosis. And we will continue to raise awareness about this issue, this condition, and definitely will be here to support our sisters living with this condition. You mentioned about pregnancy. Is it that females who are living with endometriosis, no possibility for them to get pregnant, or is there like a certain stage that it gets to and they're not able to get pregnant? How does this work?
Well, because endometriosis affects the uterus, that in itself makes it difficult, right? So you could even get pregnant and you don't even know you got pregnant, right? Because of course you're bleeding a lot, or the lining, the lining of the uterus itself is off. So for the fetus or the fertilized egg to implant on in the uterus is really difficult because the lining is like all out of whack. So you find that a lot of times. Also, the estrogen level is so high as well that it throws that off too. Now, for a lot of others, what happens is because of this so-called scar tissue or the deposits, the tissue deposits, what happens as well is that it starts to block things like the tubes. And so the fallopian tubes are not working the way that they're supposed to. They're not ovulating. There's no spillage that's going over into the, from the fallopian tubes itself. And so fertility is just much more difficult, and then on top of that, sex is painful. So, I mean, you got to have sex. And if you're not having sex, that's not working out either, so there are lots of different aspects when it comes to that, when it comes to the fertility part of it. But it's a real thing. It's real. It's actually, I find a lot of times with my personal clients that even when they have endometriosis and they were diagnosed from they were 22, they really only start doing something about it when it's time for them to get pregnant. And I really hope that women stop doing that. If you suffer from a condition and you're now told that you're diagnosed with this condition, start doing something about it. Don't wait until now you have to do something about it to get a goal that you want. Focus, do what you need to do your research, get an opinion, get a second opinion, get a third opinion. I mean, whatever it is that you need to do, but don't sit on it, because that is really what causes an issue too. Because if you don't do anything about endo, it only gets worse. It doesn't get, it's like bacterial vaginosis. If you don't do anything about it, I mean, your vagina is going to smell and itch and feel uncomfortable more and more every single day. So it's the same thing with endometriosis. It will definitely get worse.
Takes
so
us
we want to
back
do
to
something
your
about
point
it.
that you made earlier about living with it daily and not just when you know you're
Exactly.
right. I didn't hear her just now.
You okay?
I didn't hear when you stopped talking, so I didn't hear like the last part of your message just now. I don't know what is happening. Like I'm not seeing your video very well, and you keep going in and out on my thingy. So I'm not
Do you
sure.
want to change positions, or
Let me
I don't know. You said that a lot of people were on the internet. maybe one person can come off. Maybe that will make a difference.
I'm going to let them know that they should use one phone to tune into this live. Can all right. So I'm just going to ask them just to just use one phone for the moment, for the time being, on the internet, and this one, please. Thank you. They're watching. All right. So, we were just talking about. I just missed my chain of thought. So went. Yes, endometriosis and getting pregnant. Though pregnancy might be challenging, how is it that you advise on women having sex with endometriosis? Women living with endometriosis, how is it that you advise them about sexual activities?
Well, I actually do some classes and stuff like that with couples. The ones that are open, of course, the men that are open, because of course there are a lot of men that feel like you shouldn't tell them anything about sex because they're the man and they know exactly what to do and when to do and how to do it. And anybody that knows the vagina lady knows that that's not necessarily the situation.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what I would say is there are a few things that we can really implement in the sexual act or during that sexual time to make things a little different, a little better. One of those things definitely is foreplay. Foreplay really important, and I find a lot of times that, and I don't mean to. I don't know if this might sound bad or not, but it's just what it is. I find that a lot of Jamaicans themselves don't focus a lot on foreplay. Foreplay is something that's done for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and then we just run up into the vagina. You know what I mean? And that's just that. I know a woman that suffers from endometriosis, you can't do that. It's just not going to work. She's not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy it. And then what's the point of having sex if everyone's not enjoying it? I mean, that's the whole point. So foreplay, extremely important. And foreplay it can be so many different things. I mean, that's such a wide thing. Foreplay can be kissing. I mean, I know I don't suffer from endometriosis, but I know when I have a good 15 or 20 minutes of just making out and, kissing and just using our tongues, in each other's mouths and that kind of thing, that in itself just really lubricates the vagina in a really great way. And then also it takes a lot of tension away from the pelvic area, which is usually an issue with endometriosis because, of course, there is a lot of tension there, right? And blockages. So foreplay can be anything from kissing to massaging to oral sex to all of the above. You can even make up your own thing in how that goes. But I would definitely say you want to do foreplay. And foreplay really needs to be 5 minutes with a and I don't mean to, I mean, it's not just about that in terms of an endo sister. I think women in general would love it if foreplay lasted longer. That's just putting that out there. But when it comes to someone that is suffering from endometriosis, I'm telling you, foreplay is everything. Everything. Now, when you do the foreplay, what I would definitely suggest is you don't want her to orgasm though. Okay. And the reason why is from the foreplay, because once she orgasms, no, she doesn't even feel horny anymore. And now you want to go and penetrate her with your penis. She's not, vagina is not happy about that. Teasing the vagina and teasing the clitoris and teasing all these other aspects, so that she can be in a more relaxed, turned on mood. And of course, wetter. Like, the wetter she is, the better the sex is going to be for everybody as well, you know? So that's important. Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
But you're not
And I
hearing
told
me?
you well, I was reading the comments, but I was you were in and out, but I could get a few words from what you said. And I told you before the program started that she is the vagina lady, and as she said, if there's anyone who thinks they know more about they need to contact her. So, ladies, gentlemen, if you do want to hear more about this topic, this what it is that you need to do, work on, then you need to go over to her page, get some consult.
I don't necessarily think that birth control helps the process. I actually think it makes, they're saying they're not hearing. They say they're not hearing. Yeah. I'm saying they're not really hearing. Start to can hear
Okay.
us well. Let us know. Here we go again, not hearing.
I'm going to try changing my position. Excuse me.
Please repeat. Please repeat.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can, and you said a lot louder.
I'm kind of hoping a few doors. But as I was saying, she extensively she gave some pretty good advice, like some pretty good, you know, things that you need to work on. And if you're not doing it, you need to start doing it. And if you need to know more, just book a consultation session with her, and she will definitely educate you on what you need to do. I was asking the question about did yeah, birth controls and contraceptives for women living with endometriosis. Your take on this?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily think that birth control helps, which I'm sure no medical OBGYN really wants to hear. I apologize. But I don't think it helps. I think it numbs really what's going on. I think it stops the body from doing what is meant to do naturally. And so the problem doesn't change. The problem is just probably altered a little bit for the moment. And I mean, what are you going to do? Be on birth control forever? And then what's happening with your liver when you're on birth control forever? You know, and then if you're trying to get pregnant, how does that work now because you're on birth control? So I don't think that that's the way to necessarily heal or treat this condition. But you find that when you have a reproductive, especially a hormonal reproductive condition, that is usually the to go. Because for me, when I had adenomyosis, which is actually a condition that is inside the uterus versus endometriosis being on the outside of the uterus, they had told me, let's go on birth control. And I told them that I couldn't. Like, birth control just doesn't work for me. I mean, I wasn't necessarily trying to have any more babies, but I didn't want to know that I can never have any more babies. Like, that was a problem just to think about. But birth control wasn't going to be for me. It wasn't going to work. It's never worked. I gain weight. I'm miserable. It's just a hot mess. Much less someone who is really trying to get pregnant. I mean, birth control is not going to work for them either. So I think it's really just a Band-Aid that keeps dropping off, pretty much. So I definitely don't suggest birth control. You know, it's not something that I suggest. There's so many other things that we can do to allow you to be able to live with this condition and not feel like you have the condition. Another aspect, though, is a lot of my clients that have endometriosis and come to me for fertility get pregnant, and that's great, and that's awesome, and that's the goal. That's what we're excited about, right? But during the pregnancy, because of course we can't do certain things in terms of treatment because now you're pregnant and like you can't be detoxing, you can't be taking certain things because it's not good for the baby and not good for the pregnancy. You find that, and because when you're pregnant, the hormones start going all over the place. You find that by the time that you have delivered your baby and now probably breastfeeding, that the endometriosis comes back like a ton of bricks, right? And the reason why it comes back in a ton of bricks is because, of course, the estrogen levels and the hormones and all of that's going on. So that is something that you also have to think about. And that's something that I have actually trying to explain to my clients, because they get pregnant, they're not suffering from the symptoms anymore, and they feel like, yes, I'm free, hallelujah, right? And after the baby, I mean, the endometriosis symptoms come back, or maybe they come back even worse than they ever were before. So you have to also be ready to go back into treatment as soon as baby is born. Of course, there are certain things that, right? Because if you're breastfeeding or that kind of thing, there's certain things you can't do, but there's certain things you can do. And I definitely suggest that during the pregnancy, you are thinking about what is it that I'm going to do after I've had this, blessing, so that I am not suffering.
Okay, so you do not recommend birth controls. That is the bottom
No,
line. So
pretty much.
we have 10 minutes to wrap up the live, and I am just going to throw out the opportunity now for persons who have joined us to ask their question. I saw a question earlier. Let me try and find it. Okay, it's a question from social commentator. educator. I guess that is Shamanique. It says, would you say it is common among teenagers, age group, say 14 to 19 years? Would you say it is that's a common age group for teenagers living with endometriosis?
I think a lot of teenagers suffer from endometriosis, and they don't know, and they're not diagnosed during their high school time. And it's not until later on down that they're diagnosed, or an OBGYN will say, oh yeah, this sounds very endo-like. Because a lot of times they just say it's painful periods. You just got painful periods. I mean, that's just what's wrong with you. Yes. So yes, I think that I would say the youngest I've seen in terms of me personally with endo is 15. 15 years old is the youngest that I have seen, that I have come in contact with or spoken to. And I mean, the world is huge. I mean, there's probably younger, you know, but that's just my personal experience.
Thank you for that. Thank you for
we got to talk about the foods though. Can we talk about the foods for 2 minutes?
Yes.
Somebody has a question about it. Yes. Somebody was asking about the foods and plant-based diets. So there are some, instead of going through all the foods you should eat, the list of what you shouldn't eat is much shorter. So let's go from that route. Dairy. If you suffer from endometriosis or any reproductive issue, dairy is not your friend. It's not your friend. You don't want it in your body. It's only making your endo grow more. It's only taking you from a stage 2 endo to a stage 4. That's just what it is. Gluten is also not a friend to an endo sister or endo warrior. Gluten is a paste, and it covers up the organs. And at the end of the day, you already have this so-called scar tissue or tissue deposits that are already covering and attaching itself to different organs. Having now the gluten is in anything white, basically. The flour, the pasta, the breads, all of that has gluten. Now wheat, for some strange reason, people think that wheat is healthy and that if we're going to do bread, wheat bread is the best bread. But wheat has actually more gluten than the white. So wheat is actually really not good for us. So in general, not good for us. But if you are an endo sister, it is even more bad for you. So you want to stay away from gluten, you want to stay away from wheat, you want to stay away from dairy. And dairy, when I say dairy, I mean anything from the cow. It could be the milk, it could be the cheese, it could be the cow foot, it could be the oxtail, it could be the steak, it could be anything from the cow. Anything from the cow is just not your friend. It's just what it is.
Thank you for that. I was always of the idea that wheat is good for us, and wheat bread, wheat.
The only thing that's good in the wheat is the fiber, right? That's the only thing that's good in the wheat is the fiber. Everything else isn't. It's almost like liver. I tell people don't eat liver, and they're like, what do you mean don't eat liver? Liver has iron. And I'm like, yeah, liver has it's high in iron, but it's also high in shit. I don't know, like it's mixed up with the doo-doo. I mean, I'm not really sure, you know, how it is that you want to go about that, but that is not the best way to get the iron. You can find iron that's cleaner than necessarily it being mixed with waste. And it's the same thing with the wheat. You can find fiber, you can get fiber many other ways than to get it through bread that's also of that gluten in it.
So there was someone asking about the vitamin earlier. For you to repeat the vitamin that's
vitamins. So you want to do like vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is great. You also want to do as I said, ginger capsules or ginger if you're willing to eat the ginger, because you need a high amount of ginger in the body. Serapeptase is going to be also great because it removes a lot of that extra scar tissue and blockage. It just removes any kind of blockages that's in the body. So blocked tubes, if you suffer from that, the serapeptase is going to be good for that as well. Being on a plant-based female vitamin is going to be really, really important, 100%. So that would be a good option too. At Cosmic Woman, we have 2 teas. Well, we have 3 teas now, but there is a hormonal tea blend that we have that really helps with the condition of endometriosis. Also, our womb tea really helps. And then, of course, we now have a endo tea. And of course, the endo tea is going to definitely be for endometriosis. So you can definitely look into that as well. When it comes to things like alcohol, you want to look into what type of alcohol you're having. I have some clients that love Baileys. That's not the one for you if you suffer from endo, because of course it has dairy in it, right? Also, you want to look into the types of chasers that you're using, because of course, if you're having a high sugar intake, that's also an issue, right? So you want to do something that has a lot lower sugar, and then whatever you're chasing it with, of course, you want to make sure that that is not sugar-based either. Now, if we're talking about wines, now I find that a lot of women these days, I am not one of them because I like to taste my liquor, but you find that a lot of women these days, Moscato is just the thing, right? And Moscato nice, and it's sweet, and it's like juice, and it's nice. Worse if it have little sparkle and little niceness in it. But that is also not an option. Okay, because, or not a good option, I should say. And the reason why that's the case is, of course, because it is very high in sugar. So if you're looking at a wine, red wine is always better. And not the sweet red wine, but I would say a Cabernet or a Pinot Noir would probably be a better version for you. Vodka would probably be a better version for you than a red rum or a white rum.
Whoa. Yes, persons who love the spirit, you heard that? What's good and what's not good. So you need to make some adjustment to your wine cellars. People, if you're not drinking the right thing, you need to start getting the right thing. So we had another, there's someone who said she wanted some endo tea. Whitney, you can just up over to Ramona's page after she's through and just DM her about that tea, and she'll definitely get it to you. We have another question that says, can endometriosis be mistaken for PCOS? I'll allow you to clear that PCOS one up.
I don't think so. I mean, I think you can have PCOS with endo, but Ramona, PCOS...
Yeah, there's a follow-up question to that says PCOS. What is PCOS? So just... Okay.
So PCOS is also an estrogen-driven condition, which is why a woman that suffers from endometriosis would also suffer from this PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, polycystic ovarian syndrome comes in many shapes, forms, and sizes, even different than endometriosis. So with PCOS, sometimes women do not get a period. For some women, they are just bleeding all day, every day. For some, it is their... or should I say, they have a high testosterone. So you find that they're growing like hair in manly places. And of course, because of that, they're not ovulating. And then again, you also have the women that suffer from PCOS that literally have the cysts around the ovary, right? Which also allows your ovary to not function the way it should function, because here are all these little cysts which have like pus and mucus and waste and all these things that are going around the ovary. So it's throwing off the function of the ovary. Now, I don't think that you can mistake one for the other, because PCOS is just very different. As much as it is an estrogen-driven condition like endometriosis, it's different. It's definitely very different.
Okay, thank you for that. I do hope Sakina is enlightened after that response. I heard chocolate is good for endo. Is that true? And we're going to take the
Dark
last
chocolate.
question from
Dark
Shanae.
chocolate is much better for endometriosis than the regular chocolate.
That's my
But
first
it's a
time
healthier
trying.
version. I mean, dark chocolate is a healthier version. Would I say to eat dark chocolate because it heals endo? No, that's not what I'm saying. But in terms of an option, a better option, dark chocolate is definitely a better option than the regular chocolate. But I wouldn't recommend any chocolate, actually. I wouldn't recommend any chocolate. And someone just posted something, just put a question, and I just want to answer that before we run out of time. What are your views on yoni pearls for endo sisters? Now, yoni pearls are something that is like the new fad right now. Like everybody is selling them. Between that and the yoni washes and the boric acid and all these different things. If you go on my website or if you go on my IG pages or anything, you realize that I do not have yoni pearls. I do not endorse yoni pearls. Now, I'm not trying to box food out of anybody's mouth, but I just don't think that the yoni pearls that are being sold at this moment are for every woman. I feel as if you want to do a herbal tampon, and that's what I really I would like make for a client, or you can get a holistic person to make for you, would be better because now they know your own personal condition and they can say, okay, we're going to put this herb, and that herb in it, and you push this up in your vagina every day. But for the pearls that I see out there, the yoni pearls that I see out there, the what should I say, the ingredients that are in them, I think that is a little too strong for some women. I have tried it when I took it out, I was itching and all kind of madness, and I was just like, oh my God, like I didn't even have a problem. No, I use this and now I have a problem. And now I had to like use things to get rid of this problem that I had. So no, I do not suggest yoni pearls for endometriosis or really for any necessarily reproductive condition. You're welcome.
So definitely you heard from, just checking if you're hearing it good. So from the vagina lady, does not recommend yoni pearls. So you'll not get them on her page to purchase, and she doesn't advise it. And we're like almost out of time. It has not prompted me that the live is going to end or anything, but I'm just going to. I think that was the last question that we had there. So we're going to just wrap up right now. And I had promised that we're going to have giveaways at the end of the session. And I have only 4 questions, 4 simple questions to ask. And then you will respond in the comment section and we will be giving some phone card giveaways. To something persons on here just know, and I am definitely grateful for the persons who came out and to just support women living here. She's reach her. You can just go on her Instagram page and have a conversation with her if you're someone who is living with endometriosis and you need to, these treatments, the teas that she recommend, and just to learn more, you can just go over to her page and have a conversation with her. I would also like to apologize once again for my technical glitches. Like COVID has, shift things up a little bit, and we're online and everything. But there are sometimes, it happens, the technical difficulties and all of that. So I do apologize for my in and out and my internet having issues. I apologize, and I am so grateful that you stick it out with me and you were there saying, "Oh, we can't hear you now. We can hear you now." I appreciate that. And the first question is, It's not hard. Ramona did speak widely about the things that you should. The list is easier for those food that you should not be eating than those that you should be eating. So I want you to give me just 2 things that she made mention of that you should not be eating if you're living with endometriosis. And the first person to respond correctly will be getting something. In the meantime, I just want to say again, a big thank you for you, Ramona, for coming on the live tonight, for partnering with us. And my voice is going, I don't know what, but I need some ginger. But it has been an amazing evening. We learned so much from you, and we can definitely see that you know your stuff. You're not reading from a paper or anything like that. You know your stuff from even before now, and you're just here to just give us more, to sensitize us about this condition. And you are definitely one of those persons making the world a better place, because you're telling your endo sisters that you're here, you have a service to provide, and you're always here for them. And even not only persons living with endometriosis, but conditions that we females might have, and we can come to you at any point in time and say, hey, we're having this, we're having that. If you follow our page, there are so many testimonials. There for what you have done for us. So whatever it is that you want to speak with her about, it doesn't have to be endometriosis, but whatever condition, whatever it is, you can just go over to her page. Hoping that we had our first winner. Can you let me, I don't even,
winner, Teeny British.
My internet stuck again, you know. Stuck again. Like, I don't know why.
'18 to say something. Egg and brown bread, and she's right. You hear me now?
Okay, so Tina,
Teeny British man.
you can inbox us for your giveaway. Our second question is, can you give the full name of guest tonight, and what is her dub name? Like, we say, hey, hey. What is her I gave 2 tonight, so I need those 2 names. You know, AKA, yeah, that name. So we need the correct name and the AKA name. That's the way.
And until they send that, I just want to let everyone know that there is a endo support / treatment, I guess treatment Zoom class, workshop, whatever you want to call it. That's on the 16th, and it is free for all women that suffer from endometriosis. Doesn't matter where you live. Please reach out, send a message, register for it. Because I mean, it's free information, and again, it is a safe space. And all the time, it's always important for us to have a safe space to be able to express ourselves, and also just to learn, even if you don't want to say anything. People are answering. Well, La Bella's Boutique said Ramona Spencer, the vagina lady. It's Spence, but I think that's close enough. What do you think? Are you there?
You're hearing me now?
I am.
All right, so I'm just hearing you now. I didn't get the part about the endo support group. I missed all that information.
Okay. So the endo support group and workshop is on the 16th. We will be talking about ways to treat it, heal it, and just going through different things. It is on Zoom. It is free. So please, there is no excuse to not get the information because it's just as free as us doing this live here. All you have to do is register. We are also doing a sweepstakes for endometriosis. 2 lucky women will get a free consultation and a discount on her products if she's an endo sufferer. It's something we do. Been doing this for about 3 years now, and I think it really makes a difference. I am really huge and big on giving back and charity and like all that kind of good stuff. I heard you earlier talking about children's home and this and that is like my thing. Like that is me. So I'm definitely going to connect with you guys about that. But I definitely would love for, if you know anyone that suffers from endo that would want to register for the sweepstakes, you can find it, the information on our IG page, so that they can register or send in their story. Really, it's just emailing your story, and we just pick 2 women who, you know, the stories that kind of like hit more to home, or, you know, it seems like they're suffering more, and then, you know, they get their free consultation, and of course they get a discount on their products.
So you heard that, the good stuff. So we have a free support group meeting on Zoom coming up soon, and it is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for this. And definitely Ramona has some good stuff in store for persons who are living with endometriosis. All this information is on our page, so I'm going to allow her right now just to tell us where to find you. You can give your contact information at this time as well, and the whole works.
Okay, so of course, Cosmic Woman is our business page. That is the best place to send a DM for any information about Cosmic Woman services, products, that type of thing. There's also the Vagina Lady page, which is my personal page. You can definitely still send a message there. No issues with that. Please follow both of them if you can. But you can send DMs to either one of them. We also have 2 numbers, office numbers. One is a US number and one is a Jamaican number. The Jamaican number is 876-406-2764, and the US number is 803 269-7587. They're both on WhatsApp, so you don't have to physically call if you don't want to. No, email, I find a lot of times women like to send emails just because I guess it's a sensitive thing and they don't really, I don't know, they feel like they're more masked if they just send an email. That is also an option. And the email address is cosmicwombman@gmail.com. Remember, it's womb and man, because we deal with men and we deal with the womb. So you can definitely reach us there as well. And then we have a YouTube channel too. So if you want to get information on, different lives or different talks that I've had, they are uploaded on our YouTube channel, which is Cosmic Wombman.
Thank you very much for that. And I do hope persons had their pen and paper recording all this information. And we on Touch One Art Foundation page, we have linked, tagged the Cosmic Woman and Vagina Lady in every single one of our posters or videos. So you can always go there if you miss this information and click on that page name and it will take you right there. The second giveaway, La Bella's Boutique. She said Ramona Spencer, the Vagina Lady, and you're indeed correct. So you can just give us a DM and said you're the winner for question number 2. Ramona had mentioned some teas that the Cosmic Woman is selling. And I would like you to tell me, she mentioned 3, and I'm going to be easy on you because, as an educator, I know persons get weary sometimes after talking for extensive time. I'm just going to ask you for 2. Just name 2 of those. Give me the names of 2 of the teas that she mentioned tonight. And we have a $500 phone card giveaway courtesy of let me just say it the right way. So it's Pure Talent Show giving away $500 credit, and I don't know how it is that she wants that credit to be giveaway. So I guess I'm going to add another question. So we have a winner right here, Tamisha, who said endo tea and womb tea, and the third one was the hormonal tea. So you can definitely inbox us about that. So that's
3. We got one more.
One more. All right. I guess 2 more. 2.
Oh, you said 5? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yes, we have a $500 giveaway. I'm going to ask you, Ramona, to do that question for the $500 giveaway. So I have 4 giveaways, and I did 3 already. It's 3. So that's 1. No, it's 2. Yes, it's 2. So now I'm going to be asking, what is the name of the vitamin that she recommended that we take if we have the condition endometriosis? What's the name of the vitamin? Well, someone is saying ginger tea. So you're selling ginger tea over there, Ramona.
We actually do sell ginger. We sell it in the capsules, not the tea. But ginger is actually in the hormonal tea. And it's also in the endo tea. But we don't sell ginger tea itself. Okay. We have a winner, Miss Chris.
So that's Miss Christy. So that's the 3rd giveaway from Mike. No, it's the 4th giveaway. I gave your name, what you're not supposed to eat, the vitamin, and the tea. So now it's your giveaway, courtesy of Pure Talent Show. So Ramona is going to ask the $500 giveaway, phone card giveaway for the night, and we're just going to close it off there.
Name 1 thing that helps an endo sister have better sex or orgasms.
I know. Can I participate?
No, you cannot participate, ma'am. Let's see what they got here. Let's see, let's
Yo,
see.
La Bella. La
Yes!
Bella's boutique.
La Bella is on it.
I know,
La
right?
Bella, La Bella will come teach a class with me.
All
Oh
right.
God.
So I do hope our assistant in the chat has gotten the names of all persons who were successful in answering the questions correctly. And I do once again apologize for my glitches, and I thank you so much, Ramona, for making the time out, taking the time out to be here with us and speaking, giving us so much information. This is so, like, I was just making a little bit of notes and everything on here, just so if I, come across someone who has the condition and can say, hey, this is wrong, don't do that, but do this. You understand?
Right.
So it was something for every one of us to take away tonight, not just persons who has the condition, but for every one of us to learn about, because it is not something that we know, oh, definitely, I'm not going to have that. No, we don't know. We don't know for sure. So it is always good to be in the know. So be endo aware to every individual, not only our females, but also our male companions as well. Well, counterparts, let me say that. Counterparts as well. So thank you again for being here with us and dropping all those nuggets and all those gems. Please go over to our page and check out the good stuff. And you will be hearing a lot from her. Her page is always busy. Trust me, her page is always busy and there's always information there. So you can always go over to Cosmic Woman and the Vagina Lady, like both page and follow the information that is being presented there. Thank you again, everyone, for coming out and keeping the comment section active. Like, I love,
Yes.
I guess, who make what you nice, I just want to put up pure yellow things them in the comment section right now. Like, when I just drop on a look yellow board on the comment section.
Yes, do it.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much for
you.
having me. Thank you for
You're
considering me.
welcome.
I very much appreciate it. It's always a blessing to be able to give out information. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Thank you. And follow We Touch One Heart Foundation page as
Yes.
well. Excellent,
Yes.
excellent, excellent team in giving back to Jamaica and the world at large. Youths, volunteer.
Always.
Have a
Blessings,
good
love and light to
evening.
all of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.